distance, ready to run it back. They are headed to Super Bowl 55 to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, Shannon's homeboy is only in his third season as a starting QB, and despite winning regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP already, might only be scratching the surface. Yesterday at Super Bowl opening night, Patrick Mahomes told reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm at a way different level than I ever was last year in terms of reading defenses. This is just the beginning for him, which is what's so special about his future." So, Shannon, do you like that he said this?
I love it because he's being honest, Skip, and that's what comes with experience, the understanding and the knowledge of what, not only what you need to do, but what a defense is trying to do. And that's what happened to me, Skip. Early in my career, I was just fast. So I just run, I didn't have no idea, didn't have to read defense. I was just trying to get open. And then once I understood what a coverage was and what they were actually trying to do and where they were weak at and how I could manipulate them with certain movements, it's like, this is stealing. This is too easy. And you see with him, Skip, he played in the run and shoot. Skip, and I'm not to miss the run and shoot. But guys are just running scot-free.
At Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. They're not reading the whole bunch. And because it came so easy, Skip, he didn't even get a chance to grow. He's like, this is easy. I got 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards my first year starting. And he's like, well, damn. I mean, and that's why you hear a lot of guys say, man, college was harder than the NFL. But once he started, he broke it down, and he started like, okay, this is this coverage. Now, if I do this, I can get him to move there, and then I can hit Tyreek over here for a big play. Or I can manipulate them into thinking I'm going to Tyreek, and I can find Kelsey, or I can find Watkins. So that comes with experience. And as you look at Brady, that's why I say it's hard to fool Brady. Because he's seen everything. You can line up in one thing. Oh, I know you're going to cover two. I know you're going to quarters. I know you're going to play 22-man. I know you're going to play trail or kick coverage. Yep. So as he gets older, he's only going to get better. He's going to be seeing everything. And with his ability, Skip, as you say, the sky's the limit. So I have no problem with saying this because it's hard for you to know everything. I mean, they want the guy, and I think that's what it was, Skip, because he had the level of success that he had so early, people automatically, well, he's way beyond his years. He was immensely talented. Now you throw that immense talent with immense preparation and immense understanding, this is what you get.
Okay. So I love that he said this for the Bucs' sake because I thought it was a little over-the-top cocky, but that's who this young man is. That's part of his psyche. It's part of his aura. It's part of his body language. He has swagger to him, and he is feeling himself. He's actually feeling himself coming of age. So I get why he said it. It's just pretty surprising to me that he would go that far to say, I feel like I'm at a way different level than I even was last year.
Yeah.
Okay, is he trying to intimidate the Bucs defense? Because I don't think that'll work.
No, but you remember, Skip, on the shop, he said he didn't understand how to read defense until halfway through last season. Okay. I think that came out in February or March of this year, 2020, when he was in the shop, and he was talking about his understanding of defenses.
Okay. But we've heard references last week to Tom Brady is one of the best, if not the best, which I thought was a little bit dismissive of Brady. And when he did refer to him as the GOAT, it was a little bit sarcastically because this kid is starting to think he is the greatest of all times. I don't take that away, but I'm warning you and him. It can be dangerous because, I'll say it one more time, you did win your first Super Bowl, but you were a little shaky in that game. Down the stretch, you did throw that late third quarter interception, the early fourth quarter, and you trailed 20-10 mid-fourth quarter. And you were fortunate you were up against Jimmy G instead of Tom Brady because Jimmy G in the fourth quarter went 3 of 11 for a grand total of 36 yards with an interception. And so you had no real pushback as you roared back and took the lead. And yet, remember, there's the Emmanuel Sanders play with 1:40 left. He's got you beat by a step. Yeah. And Jimmy G missed him at the goal line.
Well, his pushback was Nick Bosa and DeForest Buckner and Armstead and Richard Sherman and Warner. That was his pushback.
Yep. Well, okay, so he did that, but he almost didn't do it with the 2 interceptions. They could have been game losers if Jimmy G had leaped upon the opportunities that he was given to extend the lead, but he could not do that. Okay, so I'm just putting this in perspective. That's one thing that Tom Brady would have never said. But he's different. He's cut from completely different cloth, where he goes out of his way. In fact, Tom Brady never says anything about anything.
Exactly.
Because he knows the focus should be all team all the time. And after a while, it wears me out to listen to Brady because he rarely says anything that is repeatable or memorable.
Exactly.
For us to talk about.
But I think the thing is, Skip, what he's saying is that my understanding of my job and what they're trying to do against me is light years from where it was last year. This is not taking anything from the team. This is the reason why the team is here. It's like because my knowledge, my understanding of what I need to do and what they're trying to stop me from doing, it's almost like, Skip, he doesn't throw any blind passes. It's like he gets off key and he remembers like where everybody's supposed to be. And now it's an off-balance throw where he's back across his body, but he's hitting Kelsey, or he's hitting Tyreek, or he's hitting these guys. He understands. He doesn't miss very many blitz pickups. And he understands. I'm expecting a lot of zone blitzes in this situation, Skip, where they bring the two inside backers and they drop a D tackle or they drop JPP, because he's really good.
He'll drop into coverage. He's pretty good at it.
Because if you don't, you see they hit Tyreek on that quick slant. Now, you bring somebody and Tyreek catch a quick slant, you got the Dickens getting him down because he's got open field. So I think we're going to see some of that. I think that, look, you'll give him a little dose of this, a little dose of that, and see what you have success with. But Mahomes, his understanding and his the greatest thing that a quarterback can have is recall. Is that, okay, in this situation, I've seen 100 snaps, and in this situation, this is what you normally do. Now, I'm going to expect this. And that's the way Mike had us approach. He said, look, here's the printout. Mike Shanahan, head coach. Skip, this is the way we did it. He said, down in distance, in this area of the field, the 85% this. We're going to plan for this. And if they give us this and this, we'll react. But we can't get trapped knowing that this is what they like to do. Quarterback Tom Brady has tremendous recall. The great quarterbacks have tremendous recall. Brady, the Mannings, the Rodgers, the Elways, all these greats can recall situations just like that. You got to be able to think on your feet, Skip. It's not just good enough to recall it. Now, remember, JPP tried to tear your head off. Shaq Parrott tried to put his helmet in your back. And you know what? If Sue get his hands on you, Sue ain't never just laid anybody down, Skip. Sue trying to shove you through the dirt. So for me to hear him, Skip, and he's 25, and I didn't expect him to skip and that's the biggest misconception, is that people think because you played quarterback your whole life, that you should automatically, well, you just been doing it your whole life. The NFL is a whole different ball game.
Well, it is. So far, everything has come incredibly easy for Patrick Mahomes, and it's not that easy. Brady has struggled at times. Brady has failed at times, and yet Brady is in his 10th Super Bowl because he stayed consistent in his approach, which is team, team, team. I don't ever talk about me. I'm not going to talk about my growth or my achievements. It's all about the team. So I just warn you to be careful because it's starting to trickle down to the rest of the team. Did you see what Chris Jones said yesterday? About, he said, Mahomes is already the GOAT. That's fine. You should believe that if you're on his team. And he said, I feel like I'm going to win, like, he said, 6 or 7 rings. Well, that's who the Chiefs have become. Pretty full of themselves. Not that easy.
Because, Skip, the worst thing that you could have is early success. Because sometimes you take it for granted and think it is that easy. When it's not.
See Aaron Rodgers.
It's not that easy. It's a grind because you see what happened. You got 3 linemen out, Skip. Now you got 2 more players on COVID protocol.
You do.
It's just like that, Skip. Now, we could be having a whole different discussion if Robinson and Kilgore, the center, if they're not back. So we're talking about 4 starters, potentially a third, your 4th wide receiver not being there. That's a whole, and it's just like that. So what happens if that's a playoff game and you're down 4 starters? Well, you don't even get a chance to get to the Super Bowl. So when you have early success, Skip, man, this thing could be a breeze. You win your first, you go to your first Olympic. Oh, he 20 years old. Oh man, he gonna win like 3 or 4 of these things. Okay.
Good luck.
It's not that simple.
Nope.
Kittle. He saw Mahomes up close and personal last year's Super Bowl, and the All-Pro is joining us live next to break down the huge matchup.
This young man is. That's part of his psyche. It's part of his aura. It's part of his body language. He has swagger to him, and he is feeling himself. He's actually feeling himself coming of age. So I get why he said it. It's just pretty surprising to me that he would go that far to say, I feel like I'm at a way different level than I even was last year.
Yeah.
Okay, is he trying to intimidate the Bucs defense? Because I don't think that'll work.
No, but you remember